oh my God, we got so much to cover. I mean, of course, the fighting aspect. You were actually a pretty fucking decent player too. I think a lot of people forget that as well, and you know, maybe some off-ice accomplishments as well. Let's start off maybe with the Peterborough Petes.
Well, that goes way back. You know, my first day at training camp, I showed up with a broken hand.
From what, bar fight?
Yeah, which didn't go over too well, but it was what it was, and I had to get it fixed. And
so this bull mentality, this kind of stemmed from childhood. Like, you were always a wrecking ball, and I don't want to use the term maybe the shortest of the bunch, but you had to fight for everything you got.
Well, I think it all started when I was a young kid. You know, we didn't know what dyslexia was back then, but you know, I had to get through school, and you know, I was always sticking up for, you know, the guys who were the academics and the smart ones, and the guys that everybody picked on. I always stuck up for those guys because they helped me get through school. You know, guys and girls. So that was really how I got through school, being dyslexic, and I was an athlete, so I was usually the best athlete in school. So I got through sports, through school with sports, and obviously protecting the academics who were helping me get through tests and exams and everything else.
Are people aware you're dyslexic?
Yeah, I think it became known once I turned pro. We didn't really know when I was a kid, right? My mom would always say, "My son's no dummy." You know, they actually, I got sent to a school that, you know, had challenges for kids for learning, and I was there for a week, and not even a week, I don't think, and the principal called me in and said, "You don't belong here." So I went home to my mother and father and said I was in the wrong place, so I had to go back to, you know, the normal school. And I just, you know, the coaches and the principal were happy I came back to the normal school, and actually for the sports teams, but they gave me 50s.
Not for the right reasons, unfortunately.
They gave me 50s. The one teacher in grade 5, she wasn't very nice. She actually failed me, but you know, I'll never forget you know, that feeling of failing and all your friends moving on. But that's what you kind of live with when you're growing up, and we didn't know any better.
Wow. So then you always knew you were going to be a player and move on. Was college ever an option, or was it obviously right to junior and try to make it pro?
Well, it was always an option, but it was not a realistic option for me. You know, having scholarships in football and soccer, and believe it or not, I had probably, you know, 30-something schools in soccer and 20-something schools in football as a kicker. I was a middle backer.
Get the fuck out of here,
middle
really?
Backer, running back, and kicker and punter, but I never left the field.
Do you still kick it around?
No, but I actually ended up playing for the Argos a couple of exhibition games. I don't have any Stanley Cup rings, but I got 2 Grey Cup rings.
Come on.
Yeah,
wow,
swear to God.
So you were playing around the time Pinball Clemens was?
Yeah, I was there with all those guys. It was a pretty interesting time. Michael Shea just won the Grey Cup for Winnipeg, and he was on the team. But Doug Flutie, that was a pretty special time being with Doug Flutie, and when I kicked the field goals, he actually held it, so it was pretty cool.
No shit, huh?
Was hockey your best sport though, or because?
No, actually, hockey was my third sport out of all those sports. I got recruited. I was being looked at by, you know, Division II, Division III schools, just a couple of them. But soccer, it was all over the country. And once they found out that you know, academics wasn't my strength, I went and my father wouldn't let me go to Europe to play soccer when I was 16, so he let me go to Peterborough when I was 16 for training camp, and got into two or three fights the first day, so I made the team.
Were you fighting in minor hockey all the time as well, or?
Not really. I usually sticking up for my friends growing up, but I think the one time I tell people, they go, where did it really kick in that you're going to be a fighter? I'm like, well, when I was 12 years old, my brother's 5 years older than me, and he was getting beat up by this guy, and I saw this guy and my brother just pounding away, and he had white bleach blonde hair, and I just jumped on him and started wailing on him. And he was 5 years older than me, so after the guy had bleach blonde hair, was covered in blood, and I'm like, whoa, this is pretty scary looking. So I'm at home, and I hear the door bang real hard at home, and my mother answers the door, and the father says, "Look what your son did! Look what your son did to my son." And my brother's standing there next to my mother. He thinks it's my brother, the father. So I come between, and I'm much smaller, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Proctor."
And he's almost in shock.
And he's looking down at me, and he's like. He did that to you? He kicked his son in the butt. Get your ass home.
Oh, no, he was embarrassed.
Yeah, so I think that's really where I was kind of became more fearless. But then junior C, when I was 14 years old, fighting 19, 20-year-olds, I think the one time getting a police escort out of Wallsburg after I beat up the 20-year-old captain, and there was blood all over him too. I was just sat on him and I punched him like 30 times. So I think that's, when you're 14 years old, you kind of, you know what I mean? How
old were you your very first on-ice fight? Was it 14 in that league, or was it like even below that?
It was probably 12, to be honest, but it wasn't really a fight.
Yeah.
But junior C was,
when you start,
I'm fighting men, right? And I was fearless, so I fought anybody, and I didn't really know any better. So I was 14 playing with 18, 19, 20 years, and then when I was 15, I played junior B, and I had 350 something minutes and penalties. I led the league in penalty minutes. So I think I was kind of born a fighter. People ask me, why'd you fight so much? And I always stuck up for my friends growing up, kids, and the people who helped me get through school. That's really where it really started. But I think once I started playing junior C, I did it, and junior B, I did it, and then junior A, I kind of was, Mike Ricci was my centerman, and we went to OHL finals, then we went to the Memorial Cup, and I got drafted as a tough guy, really. But people kind of forgot when I got drafted. I actually can skate.
Yeah, you're a second rounder. Like they drafted you for the whole package.
27th overall. I tell people now, tell kids.
That's a first rounder now.
They go, you were a first rounder? No, there's only 19 teams.
Yeah, this is a ways back for sure.